Hey guys, got my helmet on for safety today. Let's review what I've done in the last trillion videos. So, review of skills for proportions. These are just the skills you need to have. So, start out first, we had a rate, which you learned in like sixth grade. A rate is a ratio or a comparison between two quantities. So, if I have two of something, five of another, actually, I've got two and three here. But then if I have four of the first thing, then I'll have 10 of the next thing, and six of the third thing, and 15 of the next thing. It's a ratio. These are equivalent ratios. They're like equivalent fractions. If this was 5 over 2, that would be the same fraction as 10 over 4, because 5 times 2 is 10, 2 times 2 is 4. And it's the same ratio as 15 over 6 because 5 times 3 is 15 and 2 times 6, 2 times 3 is 6. So they're equivalent. Okay. All right. So then we have the unit rate. A unit rate is taking our ratio, our original rate, and reducing it so the denominator is 1, right? So if I got 1/3, 1 of one thing and 3 of another, that is the same as 2 of something and 6 of another. See, I've got 2 out of 6 and 1 out of 3, just like the equivalent fractions. So if I reduce it, this case would be 3 over 1. If I reduce it to 1, this would be my unit rate here. Okay. So identifying proportions from a table, you have to find the constant of proportionality. If a table is a proportion, it will be constant. So if I take 45 divided by 15, I get 3. 24 divided by 8, I get 3. 60 divided by 20, I get 3. There's a constant. And we can see in this nice little graph, this looks like they're getting big at the same rate. So 8 and 24, 15 and 45, 20 and 60. It's all about the same. Identifying the proportion in a graph is real easy. If the graph, why is that weird? I don't know. If the graph goes in a straight line and goes through the origin, then it's proportion. The equation, I find my constant of proportionality and I put it right next to the x. So I have y equals the constant times x. In this purple one, the constant is 1/2 times x equals the y. And in the black one, the constant is 2 times x equals y. That's the equation. Interpreting graphs. So graphs have these labels. If I have number of widgets and the total cost, so if the widgets are 50 cents a piece, so I buy one, I pay 50 cents. If I buy a tool, I pay $1. If I buy 3, I pay $1.50. So the graph, every point on the graph has a meaning. If I buy 0 widgets, I pay $0. If I buy 1 widget, I pay 50 cents. If I buy 2 widgets, I pay $1. So on. And that's it. That's the whole thing, guys. That's everything you need to know.